What's up? Will here with Rennthusiast, my YouTube channel about Porsche ownership, and I thought I would share with you guys the latest mishap with this 993. So I'm going to start off with framing up what we're dealing with here. This car is exceptionally dirty. I just got back from 3 days of driving this car deep in the mountains of western North Carolina at a rally we put on up there at a place called Tapoco Lodge. 25 or 30 air-cooled Porsche owners bring their car up to mainly do some driving, but also socializing. Over the course of those days, I put, let's see, it was 1,050 miles on this 993. This car did not skip a beat. We rolled over beautiful, twisty back roads, gravel roads, did a fair amount of parking lot hanging out, and overall this car just was stupendous. It did not break, it didn't fail me, it didn't even scare me in terms of mechanical reliability. And so I was bragging to a buddy, well, bragging's not the right word, but I was remarking to a buddy yesterday after I got home just how good it was that this car took me there and back and took such a flogging and had no problems. I then went to move the car in the driveway, and I gotta say, my personal God was looking out for me, because when I went to move the car, this happened. So clearly something wrong in the shifter linkage. And as I think about that, I shifted gears literally thousands of times during this spirited driving. And so it is a miracle. It is a miracle that this didn't give way while I was up there. And when I say that we were out in the middle of nowhere, we were out in the middle of nowhere. In fact, we took what we perceived to be a shortcut that ended up being a forest service road. And ever since this shifter problem emerged, I've been thinking, man, what would have happened if this car would have failed me back there? I don't even know how we would have gotten it out. So anyway, this is a pretty simple problem to fix, I venture to guess. I've had shifter linkage problems before with my last 993. I just need access to the bottom of the car, and I cannot get the car on the lift because it is stuck in neutral, or I can't get it to engage in gear. And so the way this lift sets up, I would have to push the car around and up on ramps, and I'm not strong enough to get it up there. I am also not a jack stand person, nor am I a floor jack person. I'm not gonna be crawling around up under this car. So I am waiting for a tow truck to come. I don't love towing these Porsches because, on the flatbed, when these guys go to load it up, if they don't get the angle right, the front of the car scrapes. So I'm gonna be hanging out and watching while they load the car up, and then I'm gonna let you guys join me as I go over to the mechanic shop. My boy Charles will put it in the air and see what's going on. Something else that I was dealing with, this wasn't really an issue, but my brakes got a little bit spongy when they got hot. So, I'm gonna have him look at that. Probably need to flush the brake fluid. But I just gotta say, this 993, I've driven a lot of different generations of air-cooled, and 993 is my favorite. By the way, I haven't really featured this car on the channel recently, but I put a set of these turbo twists on it too, and I think it really upped the look. And these wheels were really, really nice to drive on too. So yeah, man, I figured what I'll do is I will wash the car while I am waiting for this tow truck, and hopefully they'll arrive sooner than later. So I will pick you back up once we get to the shop. Once again, we find ourselves here at my friend Charles's shop, CNC Euro in Greensboro, North Carolina. Familiar face. As I just shared with you guys, I managed to really tear something apart in my shifter after rallying this car for 1,000+ miles. So what I thought we could do is just have Charles talk us through what happened. I have had a little sneak preview, so I know what the deal is here.
All right, so the shifter, you can see this hole here goes through a pivot that goes up here. Can you see that, Will? My finger's in the way. Pivot's there. That's the end that broke out of here. It was welded on there. So we're going to have to take this out, which will mean we have to remove the center console because we got to get the knob off of it. And then we'll go ahead and get it take back up.
So this piece here should be welded. I think I got a better angle here. So if you want to give me a little bit of light, just not direct. There you go. So there's a hole there.
And it goes on that post.
And it should go on that post. So tell me, how did I manage to do that?
I don't know. You have a talent that I have no idea how you do stuff.
So
like
is it
that.
just forceful shifting, or
Probably, you know, I've never had to replace one of these. There's always a first time for everything. And I'll probably see them come in from other people breaking theirs. Because obviously, after a lot of hard driving, puts stress on it. I
But-
guess it broke a weld.
It is a miracle though, right? Like 1,000+ miles, thousands of shifts, and then it lets loose in my driveway. Like I
Yeah.
could have been stranded in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so
on
that's-
some
that's-
dirt back road.
That's it. I want to try to get some light there. So that's how it should sit.
Yeah. Can
Right.
you see it?
Here, let me see if I can. You want to pull that boot aside?
Yeah.
All right. So that is seated correctly there. See it up there, right? Charles,
It's
pull
not
it off.
all the way on.
Right, but pull it off a little bit. Yeah, that's what broke. So now we got to weld it. So then, of course, it's going to have to. You said the console has to come apart.
Yeah, because the shift knobs are really hard to get off. I just can't pull it off. It doesn't just snap on and off. I mean, if you've ever done one, you take both hands and pull with all your might.
You hope you don't hit yourself in the teeth or in the forehead,
Or the chin.
chin. Hey,
Yeah, cut
so
your tooth.
generally speaking, because I was mistaken, I thought this was going to be an easy fix.
Me too.
Like you've seen things like this happen before. I've seen things like this happen before, where like just
It-
bushings.
Yeah, well, your bushings are in real good shape. There's a bushing on this end. Can you see this up here?
Yes.
There's that plastic bushing. There's an identical one on the other end of where it slides. They're in great shape. They're plastic. They deteriorate over time. Also up in here where it slides on that metal bar that's in there, those that are on here go bad. Yours are in really great shape. So it looks like it's just, I've never seen one before like that. Leave it to Will Brooks.
That's right. So I was telling Charles, like, you never get out of here for less than $1,000. I mean, that's just how it goes with these cars. While I got you, did you see anything else odd going on? Anything back here noteworthy?
Well, it's not leaking. It's one of the drier engines you've ever had.
And the transmission seems to shift well.
Really well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And somebody's put some pretty exhaust. What are they? K somethings.
KWV3s, those things are awesome
Yeah.
compared to the Bilsteins.
Yeah, you know, it's all adjustable.
This car handled like, I mean, it was so confidence inspiring in the mountains.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's up in the front. And they really don't have suspension problems with these cars, which is really good. Multi-link. Look at that tire, how flat it is, and it's at a full droop.
Yeah.
Not like a trailing arm where it'd be on an angle.
Right.
It's just, that's what's so nice about the 993s and their drivability is that wheel just stays straight up and down. And,
Had a little road damage here.
yeah.
Maybe that's what tore the weld off.
Yeah, that's it.
Chipmunk.
Yeah, the probably the rodent got in there and chewed it apart.
No, it's a clean car. It's a good car. I can't believe I did this. I mean, what in the hell? But
You know, stuff happens.
that's just
You
crazy.
know, it's not probably if you would have driven like, you know, most people just loady-do around the world, you know, no problem. I bet you if this was a track car, there's probably some that have been broken already or they've
Yeah.
changed the shifting mechanism, something like that, because it's uncommon, but, you know, you're Will Brooks and it's going to happen.
That's right. Well, there you have it, guys. I thought it was going to be a simple, straightforward fix. I did a short showing the problem and published that a little bit earlier, and everybody weighed in and thought it was just going to be your standard issue, like shifter bushing stuff, but indeed it's not. So
No, it wasn't the golden rod.
we'll get it back together.